What's annoying you this week?
I was watching the season finale of season one of Slow Horses this morning, which I've really gotten into. It's an amazing series. And I was doing it while running on a treadmill. And there was kind of a climactic scene, and I missed all the dialogue because of the pounding from the treadmill. Now I've got to go back and rewatch it. But I'm fortunate that that's my biggest complaint of the day.
Yeah, I have an issue with this now because I like watch a lot of documentaries, like I'm addicted to them, but I think this might be just me having some form of OCD that's undiagnosed, but I will rewind back whenever I miss little details. And then whenever it plays forward again, I'll get annoyed at myself because I've already heard the part that comes next. But I went back because I missed something. So I've started now like almost sitting my hands while I'm watching a documentary, so I can't get the remote. But I have this problem. I miss dialogue and then it pisses me off, but I'm going to have to try and get over it. Anyway, we've got some audience submissions. These are a little bit more wild than usual, so be prepared. Todd's been annoyed by this week. What's annoying me this week is walking into a room or sitting at your desk and completely forgetting what you were meant to do. I've tried retracing my steps, but unfortunately I have big glass windows at my house, and I'm very, very concerned that my neighbours are going to start calling the police because I'm wandering very aimlessly around my house with a notepad on my hand. Clearly I sat down at the desk to write something, but God knows what that was. 26, you're 62. Do you have this problem? Because I do, and I'm scared.
I do have the problem. And retracing my steps usually works. Every now and then it doesn't work, which can be very frustrating. So I can certainly I can certainly relate to that one.
I do it a lot where I have an idea in my head for something while I'm on my phone, and I have to scroll back through my phone where I was scrolling to see if it comes back into my head. Honestly, Todd brought up something there in me, but I honestly said these names, like we were saying this before recording, so we need to get these names all sorted. Like I don't actually know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to call them K. Fridge thieves. Unfortunately, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, so I'm constantly making way too much dinner. Bringing leftovers to work, however, is an A plus standard of that. Now, I'm well aware I'm a top class chef, not to blow my own horn, but my lunch has been stolen 12 times this month alone, which is really taking the piss. Every culprit, in my opinion, should serve a minimum of 6 months inside a jail cell per steal. That may be a bit unfortunate. You might cut it out because you may get cancelled, but that's what's annoying me this week.
Wow.
12 times.
He must be quite a cook. His food clearly has a reputation, which maybe there's a bright side in there somewhere.
Well, this is what's annoying me about what's annoying him. How much food is he making? If he works an office job, getting home in the evening, how much food is he making of leftovers for the next day?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's not a bad way to do it. Although people taking it is a bit of a fly in the ointment, but
Yeah.
maybe one day he'll get that sorted.
I do sometimes try and meal prep, but it's a pain in the ass. But I can imagine if I spent all that time meal prepping, if someone stole it, to be fair, I know what I'm actually kind of backing his theory here a little bit. Rex says, people who litter, utter classless scum. Woke up this morning, fine day, thought this is going to be a great day ahead. Looked out in the garden to the wondering sight of what I can only describe as Willy Wonka's chocolate factory worth of chocolate wrappers in my garden. Now, I'm not saying that I have anger issues, but I'm starting to develop them. I live next door to a doctor. He's very friendly with the whole community. And I'm now sitting with a sweat and fear thinking he's going to start rumours that I'm heavily diabetic. People who litter. You're in Europe. Is there going to be something against this in Europe? Is there about littering? They're usually quite friendly people.
Yeah, I think, I was in Japan a year ago. They don't litter there at all. In fact, it's actually hard to find garbage cans there. And as a consequence, people carry the garbage with them back to their apartment, back to their hotel, whatever it might be. But your friend who's frustrated by littering, he may want to consider spending an extended period in Japan because however they've done it, they have truly solved the littering problem in a way that I've never seen anywhere else in the world.
I'm going to flip it now on its head because you spent some time in New York, and I read this story that I'm not completely sure is true because it's that stupid, but the new mayor or governor of New York was trying to like clean up all the streets and all the trash. So he decided the big innovation, the big discovery was to put garbage bins on the street. But unfortunately, it hasn't fixed the issue because people are now stealing the bins. Is this true?
Believe that. I could believe that. When I lived there from 2018 to late 2020, there was a lot of litter in New York, and I visited since, and there does tend to be a lot of litter, and people do steal things. So that story has the ring of truth to it. In many ways, it's a wonderful city for sure, but nobody would mistake it for a clean city.
But you'd think like how big it is and how successful and how some of the place of dreams are made of, they'd at least try to keep it clean. People stealing the bins is a bit excess.
Well, I think there was a time a bunch of years ago, like when Michael Bloomberg was mayor, where they were more serious about that stuff. They really made an effort to clean the city up, to beautify it. I think in recent years that's become less of a priority, and I think with COVID, it was even less still of a priority. But I think there is a renewed interest in making it a more beautiful city. So the next few years should be interesting.
Yeah, I think Ireland's trying to like push for no littering and stuff. I know they've got some, from what I've heard, they've got some crazy fines at the moment. I know some people that have like been caught flicking cigarette butts and stuff under the road, and I think they get like upwards of like £120 for a fine, and that's like for a cigarette
Oh,
butt. That's an expensive
oh,
cigarette.
it's a huge source of litter, but I don't know. I mean, I think again, my experience in Japan, I don't think they accomplish it with fines and with heavy-handed enforcement. I think there's just a pride there in their city and their environment, and I think people want it to be clean and want to do their part to keep it clean. At the end of the day, there's probably something to be said for an approach that is based on an appeal to people's desire to live in a wonderful place.
Fair enough, right? Let's get into this now because